bonus level.
A long time ago in a galaxy far away, there was level 46 of the bonus level podcast, and there was much unrest throughout the galaxy.
Yeehaw.
I'm Jack, and this is level 46, and as you can already tell, we're going to be talking about Star Wars. And I actually, I don't know if you noticed or not, but that was doing my best William Shatner impression.
Oh,
right.
That was good.
Yeah. Which is a completely different franchise. So I just wanted to see if anybody pick up on that. Luch didn't even notice. He's never even seen Star Trek.
I haven't.
And everybody that likes Star Wars just peed just a little bit because I mentioned Star Trek on the Star Wars episode. Anyways, we're going to talk about Star Wars because we have a lot of Star Wars stuff happening this season. And by season, I mean this fall/winter.
Mm-hmm.
The Mandalorian comes out in 12 days. A side spin-off show on Disney Plus streaming, which is going to be super awesome. And we're going to talk about that. And later this year, the Star Wars Saga, episode 9 of the 3-part trilogy. That's a 3-part trilogy, which is 9 movies, ends in December. And I'm very excited about that. I'm among the camp that absolutely loves the new movies.
Yeah.
So, and as awesome as Star Wars is as a whole, right, as an entire franchise, there's so much to dive into individually. So we're going to try to keep it as high level as possible, covering a lot of different things. But mainly, I just want to talk about Star Wars and the kind of what impact it's had on our hobbies and the things that we like as far as movies and comics and all of this stuff, right? Because I know for me personally, I grew up in the era of the reruns of 4, 5, and 6, right? The originals, before they were remastered, before they were re-released.
Exactly.
So first off, we're going to go around the horn here. I want to ask you guys what your first memory of Star Wars is. When you think of it, what's the first thing that you remember? Josh.
So I'm pretty sure that I've actually made mention of this multiple times on the podcast, just because I bring this up a whole lot in my life, surprisingly. But as a kid, very young, there was a time that we stayed with my grandparents for a little while, and they had, this is back before cable or anything cool. We had a VHS player, VCR, with the Indiana Jones trilogy and the Star Wars trilogy. So, I mean, maybe 3, 4 years old, I remember watching them over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Okay. So VHS, super, super young. Luch, what about you?
So the earliest time I can remember, I was in, I can't remember what grade I was in, but I was really young, first, second grade. And I remember I had like this awesome birthday party. It was a slumber party. Invited like 8 guys from my class, and we all went to go see Clone Wars. And we all got a bunch of lightsabers, but it's just on episode 2, Clone Wars, I can remember when Yoda was seen fighting for the first time, and everybody stood up and started clapping and cheering. It was a great moment.
Agreed.
But I'm curious. So with you, like in some of your first memories being of, the newer 1, 2, and 3, like, did Yoda fighting, was that as crazy?
Oh, I definitely saw Star Wars beforehand. Okay. I'm just saying that's like my most, like, it's engraved into my mind. Like, I remember that earliest. I don't remember the first time when I watched 4, 5, and 6. However, I do remember watching them before watching that.
Okay, because I was 5 years old when I watched, I was in kindergarten watching the original trilogy, and so I waited 20 years to watch Yoda fight, and that's when I lost my freaking mind, because 20 years worth of waiting for that scene. That was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you have to remember that. So, and my parents' generation, they were the ones that saw like the originals come out in theaters, right? So they're seeing episode 4, they're seeing episode 5, and the foreshadowing or just the way that it's written for them to make the movie on 4, then 5, then 6, whenever there is 1, 2, and 3, and then a 7, 8, and 9 after, or whatever it might be, is just so odd. But in the time frame, and whenever you're watching it, when I was a kid watching it, VHS on cable, or my grandmother would record movies off of TV onto VHS tapes, and then we'd have them. And I just remember watching it over and over and over again. 4, and then 5, and then 6, whenever they were all together there, and thinking of how well the story went without any like backstory or any like explanation of what happened to 1, 2, and 3. Like the way that they weaved it and told the story, like you got the information without having to see what had happened in 1, 2, and 3, which is so rare and so unique, just with the way that worked. But my first memory of it was seeing this like fantasy like world, right? Like it was so appealing because it felt like every book that I've read, or every just fairy tale kind of in like a more I can use the word realistic without sounding silly because it's Star Wars, but it felt more relatable, right? Like it was like the world, but a long time ago, far, far, far away. That whole it's fantasy, but it feels real. And that was whenever I was a kid, it was just so enthralling to kind of be shoved into that world. But then, obviously later in my teens, then we have 1, 2, and 3, right? And at the time, they're awesome. Now you look back on them and you're like, wait a minute. Super cheesy, XYZ kind of thing, Yoda doing backflips. But at the time when I was a kid, I was like, more Star Wars. Like, it didn't matter, like it was just, it was more to the story. So it was awesome. And I think that people forget about that like, once you become so harsh of a critic on things that you can't watch without, and I'm on the borderline of this sometimes, just depending on what it is. If you can't watch for entertainment value, then you're gonna have a bad time in general, because like I can go back and watch the original first. I can watch 4, 5, and 6. I can watch 1, 2, and 3, and I can still enjoy 1, 2, and 3, even though that they're super cheesy, right?
Yes.
But anyway, so super exciting stuff, right? With the saga wrapping up in December, the Mandalorian coming out, very, very soon. Like I said, 12 days. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But first, I want to do something fun. We're going to do the trivia. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys some trivia questions. Now, the listeners can't see this, but you guys have the option to raise your hands. Now, just like in Jeopardy, the first person to raise their hand after the question is asked is going to get the first chance to answer the question. Now, how it works is each question is worth 1 point. However, if you answer incorrectly, you go backwards 1 point. Okay?
No hard feelings, Josh.
So, so I can see on the screen who's going to click the hand first. All right? So get ready. We're going to start with some easy ones.
Now question, is it going to be one of those things where like if you say the question, you're not going to finish it if we raise our hand early?
Correct. If you raise your hand before the question is read, then you will not get called on. Okay? All right.
Okay.
So question 1 for 1 point. What is the name of Han Solo's ship? Josh.
Millennium Falcon.
All right, 1 point to Josh. Good try. All right, reset your hands. Okay. Next question for 1 point. The Empire attacked the rebel base on Hoth with a strange 4-legged Imperial walkers. They are known as AT-AT. What does AT-AT stand for? Bum bum.
Damn.
Josh.
I feel so ashamed.
So AT-AT. So that should mean all-terrain Awesome pterodactyl.
Close. Minus 1 point. He's back to 0. Luch, for the steal, do you know?
No, I don't.
No, he does not. Okay, all right. It is all-terrain armored transport. So very close.
That makes more sense than what I said.
For 1 point, what planet is home to Chewbacca and the Wookiees? Josh.
Kashyyyk.
That is correct for 1 point.
You gotta wait until the question finished, Josh.
Oh, he got it right at the question mark.
It was like two words before that.
What is the battle armor used by Boba Fett in the Star Wars series?
I'm raising my hand. Can I get clarification on that question?
Sure. What clarification do you need?
Can we buy a vowel?
Like, are we asking like the specific armor type, or what kind of like, are we asking for like the manufacturer of his armor, or are we asking like just what kind of armor it is?
It says, what is the battle armor used? Do you have a guess?
Mandalorian armor?
That is correct for 1 point. It is 1-1. Okay. For 1 point. What color is Yoda's lightsaber in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith?
Too early, Josh.
Josh is disqualified. Luch?
Green.
It is green. 2 points.
Oh, I thought you said if we raised our hand that you would stop saying the question.
No,
we just had to answer from there. Oh, so I have to wait till you stop. Okay, I know the rules now. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. Two points for Luch, 1 for Josh. For 1 point, how many engines are on an X-Wing fighter? Luch.
4.
Correct. For 1 point, what Jedi Master spent 800 years training such pupils as Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Count Dooku, and Luke Skywalker? Josh.
Yoda.
Correct.
Master Yoda.
Who is?
All right. For 5 points.
Oh, geez.
The Jedi Council consists of how many members?
Shit.
Josh.
Josh raises him. Yeah.
8.
Incorrect. Minus 5 points. You are now -3. Luch, would you like to take a guess?
I don't know it. I'm just basing it off a game I played. Is it 12?
It is 12.
That's 12. What I was gonna say.
Luch
that.
now has 8 points.
So many points.
I'm making up a rule here on the fly. If the other person misses, the other person that didn't get to answer gets a free guess. So no points to lose if you miss. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For 1 point, in the Star Wars films, what invisible power binds the galaxy together? Luch.
The Force.
Bullshit. That was some lag right there. I totally clicked that before I saw his thing.
9 to -2. For 3 points, what were the last words spoken in The Empire Strikes Back?
Oh, shit. Damn.
Okay. And I know the scene. Da-da.
Josh raises him.
Oh, yep. Go ahead, Josh.
I love you.
Minus 3 points. Josh is -5. And Luch, you have a free guess.
You said 3 words?
That's correct. No. I didn't say 3 words. The last words. Sorry.
Oh, the last words?
It's worth 3 points.
Oh, I
May
thought
the
you
Force
said
be
that.
with you?
No.
What'd you say?
Is it I know?
May the Force be with you?
That is correct.
Oh, hey.
For 3 points. So you are at 11 to -5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a good one. For 5 points.
Ooh.
In the Star Wars series, which country was the home base for principal photography on Revenge of the Sith?
Ooh. Oh, that's a cinematography question. I'm not going to know that. For which scene?
It's principal photography for the entire movie of Revenge of the Sith.
Country. I honestly don't know.
Guess, Josh. Or
I'm
Luke.
trying to
Stop looking it
picture.
up.
I'm not looking anything up because I remember in Revenge of the Sith, there's a lot of lava. So I'm trying to think of a country with a lot of lava that they can jump around in, and I just can't think of any.
Okay. Nobody gets any points. The answer is Australia. Australia.
Ooh,
I was
should've
thinking New
guessed that.
Zealand, but then that was just my Lord of the Rings taking
Yeah,
over.
that's anytime I think of that, I think of Lord of the Rings. So everything else, I'm like, it can't be that. It's Lord of the Rings.
For 5 points,
Mm-hmm.
after defeating Darth Vader in the cave on Dagobah, who does Luke see behind the mask?
Oh my god, I hate myself.
Wait, and repeat the question.
On Dagobah, in the cave, after defeating Darth Vader, who does Luke see behind the mask?
All right, I'm going to do this just because I have enough points. How many points does Josh have right now?
He has -5. You have 11.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I know it.
Okay, raise your hand. Go ahead, Luch.
Is it himself?
It is himself, yes, for 5
Okay.
points. This is 16 to -5.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right.
Don't worry, guys. The last question is going to be 400 points.
For 10 points,
Yep.
what animals attach themselves to the Millennium Falcon?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, those little weird thingies. They're like
It's not a Nebu. That was the tiger thing.
yeah.
Doot.
I got my
Josh.
hand raised. They're space bats.
That is incorrect. You are
No, they totally are. They're space bats. If you look at them, they hang upside down just like bats, and they're from outer space. So I don't
you are
know what else you want to
-15 to 16 points.
This is a bullshit quiz. I'm not playing anymore.
For 1 point, what is Yoda's last name?
Ooh. I never put my hand down, but I'll go ahead and raise it
Josh.
again. I don't fucking know.
What's your guess?
Yeah.
I mean, that should be like a 10,000. I don't know.
It is a trick question. He does not have one.
I was actually going to say that. I was like, didn't it happen?
All right. Here we go. For 10 points, what job did Luke's aunt and uncle have? Josh.
God damn it.
They were farmers
Of
what the fuck they farm? Dairy farmers.
No,
Those
incorrect.
space cows.
Incorrect. You are at -25. Luch, free guess.
I don't remember.
They were moisture
like-
farmers. Moisture farmers.
Yeah.
Oh, they weren't the little fucking. Oh no, you're right. The solar panels.
I
Yep,
know. I'm
moisture
right.
farmers.
Mhm.
That's
Yep. No, you're good.
Okay. Okay. For 100 points and the win. Whoever gets this wins.
God damn it.
Ooh.
Okay. Are you ready? We need some Jeopardy.
Nope.
We need some Jeopardy theme song music. Who's got it? Chives? What's his name?
Chives. Actually,
C-3PO?
C-3PO. Can we get some? We get some Jeopardy music up in here, please.
With Mandalorian
anybody?
coming out in 12 days. For 100 points and the win. What is the name of Boba Fett's ship?
Ooh.
I hate myself in
I
everything.
could draw it.
Draw it. Okay, draw me a picture. I'll give you the points. do.
Yeah.
It's funny because I know the fucking from SWTOR. I know the name of the actual ship, like what type of.
If nobody gets it, we'll have to go to another
brand is it, but I
tiebreaker.
don't know the ship.
It is Slave One. Slave One.
That is very true. That is
True.
Yeah,
true.
It is true.
I should have known that
It
one.
definitely is. It's true. How do we know
How do we
what?
know that, anyways? That is Slave
I
One.
don't know. It's probably written on the side.
Yeah. License
All
plate.
right. For another 100 points, this is just as tricky. Who's the only rebel pilot to survive all 3 movies in the original trilogy? Josh.
God damn it! I wasn't ready for this. I'm pictured him, but my finger got really happy. So they're.
I'm doing everything in my power to get to let
God
Josh
damn it.
win, and he can't answer a single question.
No, because see, what
Thanks
I'm
for
getting
the
stuck
vote
on
of
is, see,
confidence,
I
Jack.
remember they have their little code names that they use when they fly into outer space. Well, when I was a teenager, we drove to Colorado, and we all had walkie-talkies to talk to each other in other cars, and we rented minivans to go out there. And so one of the red minivans was, the Montana. And so they were red Montana,
Oh my
and the other one
gosh.
was green Montana. And so all I can think of right now is red Montana.
That has no bearing on it.
No, because that's
Oh my gosh! All
it was
right,
those code
all right,
words. So
all right.
like,
It's
I know I'm.
Luch. Do you know?
As soon as you say it, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember that guy now.
Okay.
I know.
It's
I
Wedge
know
Antilles.
the person. I don't know the name.
Wedge Antilles. Is
What do
his
you
name.
mean? How do you know a person? Yeah, Wedge. I remember Wedge. I just started thinking
It was the only person to
Correct.
Survive with Luke. I just couldn't remember what.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what the fuck his name was though.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are terrible. Why are we doing a Star Wars episode? You guys don't know anything. All right. I mean, you're doing okay. It's not great.
Hey, I'm doing all
It's not
right.
great.
I'm doing all right.
right. For 1,000
doing all
points,
Well, it's more just
who kissed Leia first?
okay.
Luke or Han? Luke. Oh, yay!
Luke.
Luch.
You had not gotten done.
And the
You
winner
had
of
not
Destiny
got done
Jeopardy.
reading the freaking question.
Luch, great job, buddy. You got like 5 questions right. And that's all we have time for this week on level 46. Since you guys know nothing about Star Wars, clearly. Have you ever even watched Star Wars? You know anything? I think I should have done the answering and you should have done the asking because I knew all of those.
Most
I knew all of those.
you put
I
me
was
on
going to say, I
Sounds
offered to
good.
do some trivia
All right.
questions.
So let's move forward. I want to know what you guys is if you had to rank them from 1 to 8, also with Rogue One and Han Solo in there, so 1 to 10. What is your top 10? There's 10. What about that was confusing? There are 10 films. What? Give me your 10. You're in order.
Yes. Oh my god.
Josh, for you,
so
just tell me your favorite. We'll make it super easy for you. All right, great. Return of the Jedi. Why?
Thank you. Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Why? Because as a kid, I loved the Ewoks. I loved the forest moon of Endor where they lived. Like the tree houses and everything. That was absolutely fantastic. That's what I was obsessed with. And then that one had the freaking speeder bike chasing and all. Oh
Luch,
my god.
You can either give me your top 1 or you can rank them for
dope.
me.
So my favorite one's actually Attack of the Clones.
Why?
That's my favorite timeline of the series. Because I'm a big... so I'm actually more of a fan of the Old Republic. So this was back during, the Sith and the Jedi Wars. But the Republic and the whole clone arc is actually my favorite just because
Attack
I
of the
like
Clones.
everything.
Teenage Anakin.
I didn't really care about much for that part. But again, like the lore behind the clones and everything like that, is probably my favorite thing, and it also had to create some of my favorite Star Wars games. Battlefront 2, I believe, is when they started doing clones.
No.
And then they had I don't know if you remember Clone Commandos.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Star
So
Wars
we got
games.
Return of the Jedi. We got Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, that was cool.
Do you know which one mine is? What do you guys have a guess of which one mine is?
I want to say the last one that just came out.
So Josh says The Force Awakens.
No, I'd say the one right before that.
Luch says The Last Jedi. Luch, you are correct. It is The Last Jedi.
Yes.
It's the one. Nostalgia. Wait,
I would have to say because of the
Last Jedi?
nostalgic reasons. I think because, well, again, one of your favorite things that you said was that how like the new series is bringing back all of the stuff from the original, and I feel like that was pretty much that series was the best one. Obviously,
right.
Luke was just at the end of
yes
the
and
Force
no.
Awakens,
So the nostalgia part can be good and bad. I actually am a fan more of the Kylo Rey arc than I was the original Anakin Luke, I'm your father kind of deal. The Last Jedi gets the most hate, and it's the one that I like the most. Not only I've only find I think there's only one scene in that movie, one or two scenes that just really didn't fit. The casino scene with the horse racing was kind of off, right? It was just weird. Mm-hmm. But everything else, the real kicker for me with that movie was the cinematics. The cinematics in the movie are absolutely awesome. Like, it doesn't matter. I've watched videos where people have sat and broke down the scenes and how they don't make sense, like the throne room fight, like how bad the choreography was. But when you're watching it in the moment and you're just like the color contrast, the white, the black, the red, those what are they? The shock troopers, I think, right? Is that right? No, the Praetorians, the Praetorian guards.
Which one?
Their outfits and just the color contrast and the red throne room, and it's visually stunning. And even if the fighting doesn't really make a ton of sense, it's so well done. It's just so visually well done, right? But more importantly, the scene when the bolt goes through the Star Destroyer, I think, is that what it was? The bolt of lightning that splits the thing in half. It's not a bolt of lightning. It's a photon blast or whatever. It shoots up through and it splits the giant ship in half. And it just there's the way that they filmed it, it's obviously CGI, but there's no sound in that moment. It's a completely silent white flash. And then the ship just splits in half there. Visually, my jaw literally dropped open. Wow. It was that moment was just absolutely fantastic. So I think there's a lot of those sprinkled out throughout that movie, which makes me like it the most. And the new franchise gets a lot of hate because I feel like in general, the angsty Star Wars fan is just so stuck on Mark Hamill and young Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher, and we have this nostalgia of those original 3, 4, 5, and 6 being so good because it's our childhood and it's what we grew up watching, and they forget how visually cheesy and how silly the lines are. If you go back and watch, it's they're silly. All 3 of them, they're very silly. Whereas the new ones are very much more mature. They are a lot more serious. And they feel a lot more the stakes are a lot higher. You had Luke saving the literal galaxy by shooting a photon down the little hole, right? Using the Force. And then they have a party afterwards. He literally saved the entire galaxy. The Empire was about to just mow over everybody and just do whatever they wanted. And it was just yay. We did it. Great job, boys. Like, whereas here, like everything seems a
Yeah.
lot larger scale. Like whenever they blow up, different things, and whenever the fights are happening, like it feels a lot more life and death. And I think that that's a lot more relatable in a way.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
I think honestly though, an honorable mention does need to be given to Rogue One, because outside of The Last Jedi, and then for me, like Last Jedi, then The Force Awakens, then probably Return of the Jedi, then New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, then 2, 1, 3. I think that's my order. But outside of those, I think Rogue One is the second best Star Wars movie.
Interesting. I did enjoy Rogue One a lot. I feel like that they've done a super good job in the newer movies of making absolutely incredible droids. Like every droid that they've had, like the droid in Rogue One, I don't remember his name now. He was freaking awesome. He was hilarious. Like every line that he had me freaking howling. Very good. Like he was so freaking funny.
I 100% agree. I think that Solo, however, on the flip side of that, Solo was probably the worst out of all of them. So that would go on my number. That would be my number 10. Luch, what do you think about that? Yeah. Okay.
I agree with you there. No, I 100% agree with you there. I can't argue with that at all.
They
had a cool Emilia idea Clarke going, but they did not have a good execution.
And spoiler alert, the coolest thing about the movie was the very, very end when they showed Darth Maul on his little chair, and the fact that she was a Sith or whatever working for them. That was the coolest part of the movie, and it was the last 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with that being said, I think that we also have to remember that across all 3 trilogies, right, there is a completely different feel and a different target audience at the time of when they were released and when they're out. So even though they all tie together, right, and they're all kind of like they have this puzzle thing going because it's an ongoing story that's now going to be wrapped up, they were made in a time frame and a time period for a target audience that at the time, like I said, if you remember, really, really liked them. Like when they were coming out. Like I don't remember hearing any of the negative things about Jar Jar, about the cheesy lines and the bad CGI, like none of that stuff. Whenever I was watching it and talking about it, like everybody loved it. Natalie Portman and Hayden Christensen. Now you go back and you're like, wow, he's really bad. He's whiny. He just like didn't really do a good job. He didn't have the material that he needed to like succeed in this role. But at the time, it was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember Hayden Christensen or whatever, the guy that played Anakin, catching some flack during that time.
Okay.
I do. Where it came from, I don't know, because I remember thinking of him kind of being
I don't remember that at all.
A crappy actor and a whiny bitch. But I'm not sure at what time that progressed. Because like, when did those movies come out? I mean, like, yeah. So I would have been late teens. So I'm not sure if it was during that time or if it was more into my 20s. So a couple of years later. Because I feel like I've felt that way.
I would be very, very hard pressed to find that stuff happening at that time. It was. I mean, worldwide marketing and campaigns, and I mean, everybody was all aboard it. Do you remember the Pepsi cans with all the different characters on them? You don't. I would collect them. They were on the different Pepsi products, and I'd try to get them all, like all of the different cans, and then I'd keep them. I had them like stacked in my room when I was a kid. It's weird, but it was cool. What is that supposed to mean?
Sounds like something you would do.
But yeah, so the nostalgia of it, I think, is very, very real, and a lot of people we talked about nostalgia, and I forget what level it was, but nostalgia in general, it gives you this feeling of like making things. You remember things better in your head than they actually are, and then you go and you're like, oh, yeah, no, it's not that good, but you remember it to be a lot better, right? So before we actually talk about like our hopes for how this is all going to wrap up, right? Because we have, again, very distinct feels and themes to the three different genres. I do want to talk about, so we have a lot of movies, a lot of Star Wars movies, a lot of characters, and a lot of moments across those films. Luch, who is your favorite character in the entire franchise? If you had just one person, the movies.
Ooh. Okay, how deep of a franchise
not
are
into
we
the
going?
not into the lore.
Just the movies. Okay. So it's okay.
All right.
Can we do Josh first? I honestly have to think about this one. I really do.
Yeah, so I would say mine has changed over the years and probably has changed with the trilogies. We're starting off as a kid. Luke was my favorite. Just because I was a young kid, he was the main hero. Started off, as a kid, progressing through his storyline. That he was the one. He was the one that I was most wrapped up into. When the originals, or I mean, not the originals, when 1, 2, and 3 came out, Darth Maul definitely jumped up the list for me. It was just it's such a cool character. Like anytime that there was anything Star Wars related, games or whatever, I wanted to be something like him. He was just incredible. And then with the newer ones, I think I'm a Chewie guy. I just love Chewbacca and everything about him. I just think he's dope. So,
okay.
For me, it's got to be Obi-Wan. I'm a huge Obi-Wan fan. One of the most powerful Jedi. Great swordsman, great user of the Force. Excellent commander when he was a general. Played a huge part in all of them. I mean, he showed up
Force
in
Ghost.
The most recent
Force
series,
Ghost Coast to Coast.
As a Force Ghost. But in just a and when Ewan McGregor played him, it was great.
Speaking of that, and we're going to get to that in a little bit.
Fantastic.
That was confirmed that he's actually going to play in the spinoff series, and Obi-Wan Solo spinoff series about the Obi-Wan story. Yeah, and that's going to be McGregor.
Yes,
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, his own. That's what I'm saying.
I thought he was also going to have his own.
No. A solo Obi-Wan
you said the
spinoff
solo
series.
Spinoff series. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Which is going to be great, and I believe he's
maybe. I think he has a big part in that. But we'll talk about that in a little bit because I do want to talk about the spinoffs that are upcoming and stuff. Because with the Disney Plus streaming, everything's going right to that, the shows and movies and stuff, which is interesting, definitely interesting. So, so you're saying Obi-Wan in general. We have Darth Maul. So I've always been like I'm always like a villain guy. Like I like the villains in a lot of movies, especially whenever I can like see where they're coming from. And there's a group of people that believe that the rebels are actually the bad guys. You guys have seen that the Empire did nothing wrong. That the Empire was just trying to bring order to the galaxy, and they, basically were being fought and killed like the whole way. So I think those people also believe in communism, I think. But anyways, so I've always been obviously like you said, a Darth Maul guy. When I first started watching Star Wars as a kid, I honestly never liked Luke. I thought he was really annoying. Like he whined the whole time. Here he was given this great power as a kid, got to leave the planet, do what he actually wanted to do and dreamed about doing, and then he whined the whole time. He complained. He whined. He didn't want to do it. It was too hard. It was this. He wanted to go do that. He wanted to go do this. Yes, absolutely.
I mean, you caught on to that at like 7 years old.
I didn't like him. I did not like him. You know who I did like?
Maybe I was a whiny
the
kid.
Scruffy nerf herder, Han Solo, who just was a general badass from the get-go.
Yeah.
And then now later into his being a father, and he's still a smuggler and a general badass. And he paid the ultimate price. He died for his son. So I mean, if you have to give it to a character, you have to give it to Han Solo, right? Then if you think about it, and that's one thing too, is like nostalgia plays a huge part in clouding our eyes from like what actually went on. So like we already talked about Luke, right? So Luke was just whiny. In the new movies, he's still whiny. Like, why is he still complaining and like hiding on an island? Like, get over yourself. You're the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy. Why are you hiding on an island while people are suffering? Like, come on, right?
Yeah,
and it's the reason why his cowardice, why Kylo Ren turned to the dark side. Saw the darkness in him and couldn't take it, and was like, "Well, I better kill this kid
Luke's
before
out, right?
he turns into."
Gone. Think about
Darth
the other
Vader
ones that everybody
2.0
loves.
And
C-3PO. What an annoying guy! Like in every movie, he's so annoying. Lando was a traitor. R2-D2 and Chewbacca are the only two like 100% like they didn't do anything wrong the entire time. Those two. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Question. Real quick on C-3PO before you move on from that.
No,
what do you
they're just trying to hype it up
in the
like
new movie?
Like
some weird shit was going on, like,
or whatever. I mean, he's probably being
no,
forced.
like when he had red eyes and was like acting all weird.
No, he's got.
Do you think he got like some kind of
I read
secret
something that was like
mode?
Whenever he said that line, taking one last look at my friends. It was like right before C-3PO goes murder mode and kills everybody. C-3PO, what are you doing? Taking one last look at my friends. Late lightsabers out of all 10 of his fingers.
Out of
Anakin like built into this like murder bot mode, like deep within his code, and just like goes off.
That'd be awesome.
So think about that. All of the characters that were like, oh yeah, character. They all did stupid stuff, and like you have a very, very short list of characters that you can't blame things on or like find fault in and say like, wow, they really messed that up or messed this up. Right? Like I really like Kylo.
Yeah.
I really like Kylo, right? I like his character.
It doesn't make me like him.
I like his lightsaber. It's the coolest lightsaber that there's been since Darth Maul. And what a coincidence that they're both red.
Yes.
And they're both
agreed.
Sith. Dun dun.
Which I also think the movie should take like closer advantage. I mean, Darth Maul wasn't the one. Like that's just a dual saber. It's just like a bow staff lightsaber. A lot of people.
But remember, whenever they showed that the first time, it was like, oh my!
They
God,
make it seem like
two. And then he starts fighting and doing all the flips. Ray Park, by the way, shout out to Ray Park because that guy is still a beast. 20 plus years later, he still has all those moves. He's crazy. Yes.
All right, Jack. Quick trivia question. Pop-up trivia question. What is the name?
The form of the fighting
form
style
Darth Maul used.
The
lightsaber form. Why was he so acrobatic? What form did he use?
The Ataru form. Yeah, no,
form
it's not something that I would know outside of form. Because I don't remember that from the books. Is it? Okay. Well,
it's actually a book itself if you're going to buy it. Mm-hmm. Like you can like study the forms and like
you're that Star Wars guy.
Not that I practice at my house.
You're that guy. I've seen that YouTube video.
Well, that's the thing. Like I love Star Wars, and so much about the characters and the worlds and everything, but I have never been that guy that's been able to retain the deep knowledge. I have friends that read all different types of book and lore and all this stuff that can tell you every little detail about everything. And I am not that way, but I still would consider myself a hardcore fan like no other. But it's when it comes to that stuff, I am so out of my element with it.
I read so much
crazy.
as a kid. I wasn't allowed to watch a ton of movies. I mean, I did, still get to, but I didn't watch probably as much as kids nowadays. But I read a lot. So I read, every time I go to the library, I was getting the next Star Wars book in the series, and I was reading that and just basically going through that. My favorite timeline is after. Obviously not the timeline that they chose to make movies of, but after. So like whenever Luke and Luke goes off and he has kids, and Han and Leia have kids, and the Mara Jade storyline. Do you remember that, Luch? The Mara Jade, she's what's her face's daughter? Luke's daughter, I think. Mara Jade Skywalker, I think. Is a Skywalker? I think she's a Skywalker.
Mara Jade.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry, the one that died?
Super awesome.
Whoa, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
No, it was something that was said.
No. Yeah, it was in a book.
It wasn't like
a book
actually
line
shown in the movie.
Anyways, I really enjoyed those after. I enjoyed the X-Wing series. It was really good. But anyways, yeah, so character-wise, there's so many different ones, but again, the nostalgia kind of, I think, clouds judgment of, oh, that person was really cool, and then you go back and watch them, and you're like, they weren't actually that cool. Like, Lando's coming back in the last one, you're like, oh, super awesome. Wait a minute. Didn't you betray your best friend and send him to Darth Vader? Like, yeah, I know they, made up afterwards, but, that's pretty bad. He got frozen in carbonite? Really? That's
yeah.
Yeah,
that was a very pivotal moment for
getting frozen
the team
and ended up in
to
Jabba's
overcome
palace.
that challenge.
But now he's going to be flying the Falcon again.
Yeah, we would have never got that freaking awesome Jabba scene where they infiltrate and then Luke has to fight the Rancor.
Best moment. If you had to pick one moment in the entire franchise, what is it? Go, Josh. Yes, fantastic. Love it.
The Ewok stealing the speeder bike.
And then whenever he takes off and he's just spinning in circles because he can't control it. Love it. All right, Luch, favorite moment. Go.
Yes.
The clones' first battle.
Whenever
when they go to
Yoda's
Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yoda's up in the thing.
Epic scene on Geonosia. Yeah, and then they all come down, and then they're like, then you actually finally, because before, it was just separatist droids just wrecking everybody because the Republic didn't have a functioning army, so they're just getting stomped on. So this was okay, now
100%.
Now they're fucking.
My favorite moment in all of the movies is in Rogue One. When, oh shoot, now I'm not going to remember his name. Donnie Yen. What is his character's name? Yeah, what's his character's name? Luch?
Yeah, the blind monk.
Donnie Yen, his character in Rogue One.
The what name?
I don't remember. It's my favorite. No, that's his actor name. His Donnie Yen.
I honestly don't know.
I want to know his character name. Oh, it's the blind guy.
I don't know
the blind
who
Jedi.
Donnie Yen is. I don't remember who Donnie Yen is.
What's his name?
Oh, wait, that wasn't.
What's Rogue One?
That wasn't.
Okay. Anyways,
no, I don't remember.
Whenever he basically is just untouchable. Whenever he's just, I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force is with me. Something about it, because he was blind, right, but still able to fight because of the Force. What is it? Chiru.
Chiru.
Something
Chiru.
about that, the fighting basically through the Force, and
Chiru.
because of his strong belief in it and his faith, super super powerful. I don't know, just really 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 cool. I think that there's more power in the unspoken messages than in like the really badass like fight scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I could see that. There were a couple points though in The Force Awakens, and it's maybe just because that was some of the most recent stuff that I've seen in theaters. It's been a very long time seeing the other ones. But when Kylo
in the forest
lights
in the
up
snow,
his saber,
yeah,
the sound is incredible. Like I feel it all
yeah,
deep down in my nether regions of my body, just vibrating.
Whenever
like
they
just,
introduce
oh
him,
my god,
at
that
the
sound was
at
beautiful.
the very first one in the Force
Like,
Awakens, when he rolls out of his plane, he walks up and he's got the mask on, and the guy goes to shoot him, and he just stops the blaster bolt in midair, and then he starts talking to him. That like his his gravelly voice is just really like, it's really really good. Yeah, and then
it was a great moment.
Kylo is a fantastic character. I am enjoying him.
He has his flaws, though. So he's
a
not
lot. Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't say much more than anybody. I mean, like everybody in Star Wars has their different flaws. So I wouldn't say that he has a tremendous amount more than anybody else. Oh shit! You know what we are forgetting though is the whippity whoppity stormtrooper. What was his name?
1-7?
No, FN 258 or whatever.
Oh,
the
yeah,
one that
yeah,
had
he's
the
cool.
whippity whoppity baton thing.
Super cool.
Wonk, 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 wonk.
The whippity woppity.
That dude,
I love it.
How
what is a whippity woppity?
It was incredible.
Yeah, the one that he fought him with the. Didn't he fight the lightsaber?
Baton?
Yes,
he got with it.
You know what I'm talking about. Yes.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, it can deflect lightsabers.
Yes, that dude was freaking dope.
Yes.
So many
we
good
really
moments.
don't have. Yeah, we really don't have.
I mean, we don't have enough time. I mean, we're talking about.
Many.
I mean, how many hours of movies are we talking? And that's not even getting into, like we said, the books, the games that we played over the ages.
You know what
the action
my favorite
figures.
actual
Jesus
my
Christ,
favorite
I got
moment
action
is, and I
figures all
completely
over the
forgot
place.
about it until right now. It has to be whenever Anakin
Luke kisses Leia,
goes and kills all the sand people. and then secondly, first when he does it, then secondly, whenever he comes back and he tells Padme about it, I killed them, all of them, the women and the children. I killed them like animals.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite part is, and I think I don't talk about it a lot, but Robot Chicken did a great version of it.
The Jedi Temple
was Anakin going into the youngling quarters.
Yeah.
Hey, Master Anakin. Hey, kids. Just need you all to line up real quick. Oh, Master Anakin. Hey, look what I can do with the lightsaber. He's just looking down at all these little younglings as he's I'm about to murder all these.
All right, so
right now.
What are you, real quick, we're going to go through, what are you hoping for conclusion / resolution out of episode 9? Wait,
figuring out Rey's true.
Her parents, you mean? Where her parents are?
Because I'm tired of hearing about the theories. Not really who her parents are. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Rey's origin
where she
story.
Comes from. If you want to call it.
You want Rey's origin story. Were her parents actually really drunks that sold her for drinking money? Okay.
Yeah. Would you prefer it to be
stuff.
that, Jack, or would you prefer her to be related to somebody?
No, absolutely not.
But not Mara Jade.
That would be weird. No. Mm-mm.
Which how Luke didn't kill Mara Jade, did he? Because that was something weird. Because like Mara Jade was like
super cool.
a really strange character.
I think I said this before, but Zyra's middle name
Super
is Jade because of Mara Jade.
I was not aware of that.
Huh?
Now they
than
completely
anybody.
scrapped her in the books,
Yeah, I
right?
guess.
They Disney said that's not because she also became
Yeah,
because she was like the Emperor's
Yeah, Jedi
assassin. She
Master
was
and
a
all that.
smuggler. She was also
well, according to Disney
became a
now,
Jedi
but it's in
Master,
the
like,
book,
but
so I mean,
none of that
whatever.
ever
You can't take it
existed.
out of a book.
Yeah,
Did she?
she had comic book hots too, Mara Jade.
I'm trying to remember. It was it was the whole red hair, green eyes, right?
Look at
Am I?
Google her.
That's right. Yeah. I thought
Red
so.
hair, green eyes, and then the skin tight leather bodysuit.
Mm-hmm.
And yep.
So all right. So
And the
we
purple
got
lightsaber. She
Rey's
was a purple
origin story.
lightsaber.
Great, Josh. What about you?
Yeah, see, I thought that would be the kind of questions we would have in our trivia.
Josh,
would be like,
we're past the trivia where you fail.
that.
We're past the trivia where you failed.
Okay, a lot of them.
Okay, let's move forward. Okay.
Actually, Jack, I have a couple trivia questions for you at
Josh.
the end to see if you're a true Star Wars master.
Ooh.
What are you looking for? What are you hoping to get out of
Yes.
the episode 9? Okay.
I don't know. Because, well, and I'm like with the originals, you know, when Luke's fighting the Emperor and everything, and yelling to his dad that he knows that there's still good in him, seeing Darth Vader come, you know, to the light, you know, and to the good side and everything, and save his son. I thought that was really awesome. I'm kind of hoping for something the same with Kylo, because he's a cool character.
What if he can't?
I think he's incredibly badass. So I want him on the good guy side, but then at the same time, I feel like if he was a good guy, that we would get a watered down version of who he is, where it's like, I like seeing the anger and the rage and the red lightsaber and the dark suit, where it's like if he came to the good side and he had to get a blue lightsaber and it wasn't as crazy and he couldn't be angry all the time, it's like, would he be the same Kylo?
But see, that's always
the only thing Kylo could do would be a gray Jedi. He could not become a regular Jedi.
The problem is that the new trilogy has we're getting like the same vibes, but the problem is that I think that the conclusion is going to be not what we expect, for the simple fact of, like, if they do it that way, then it's going to be a direct copy of the 4, 5, and 6 arc, like literally, of how it's going to work, you know? They have done so far.
Yeah, but I feel like that's what they've almost done so far.
No, I feel like it.
So I feel like it would almost be fitting.
You know, if Rey lives and he becomes good, he's, you know, he kind of does the full circle thing like his father, blah blah blah, or grandfather. I mean, like that. I don't know. I just don't see that.
Now, it would be cool if the roles reversed, because there was that teaser trailer with Rey holding actually the Darth Maul style dual saber that was red.
But then again, like I don't necessarily like that either, because her character has been good. She has no reason to really be bad, other than maybe she finds out that Luke was her father and that Luke abandoned her, and then, like, that kind of triggers it. Maybe, yeah.
And then she's like, "F the Force, I'm gonna join my boyfriend on the dark side."
I think that either it was a vision, or Snoke actually wasn't looking to possess Kylo, but was
maybe. But I don't think it's
going to
be. I don't think it's Snoke. I think it's going to be the spirit of Palpatine the whole time, or whatever it is, because that's the voice that you hear in the trailer.
Yeah, and we're still. For some reason, I'm so blurry on,
of course.
The Last Jedi. I need to go back and rewatch that.
No,
but we still don't know too much more
him.
about Snoke, do we?
You don't know much about Snoke. However, though, it is suggested that he's actually in the VR game right now. that is canon, that created by Disney. I believe it's called Vader Immortal. And he's actually was never corporeal. He was the Force ghost the whole time.
Interesting.
He's an ancient being
we'll see
of Force
for sure.
energy.
My hopes for it are obviously character resolution, but I don't really have a. I think I'm going to be disappointed either way with the way that they wrap Rey and Kylo, because I like them both. I want them both to quote unquote win, but I don't see how that's possible. So we'll see. Right.
Yeah, it's hard to have the good guys and bad guys win at the same time. That unless, I mean, the only way that it could kind of happen is, like you said, if she gets pissed at Luke, she joins Kylo, they both become Sith overlords, rule the Empire, and then the Empire just fucking wrecks everybody. And then you're like, all right, here we go. We got the king and the queen, and then the she has twins. Repeats. That.
So here's actually a question I want to ask you guys, and then get into my theory.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of this movie, what do you think is going to happen with the rule of two? Well, so you always have to have light and dark. You can't kill either one. It's not possible. No, what I'm saying is there always has to be two Sith in existence.
Yeah.
A master and an apprentice. Right now, there isn't either, technically.
Or is there?
But I think it's going to end with that, and I think Kylo Ren's going to sacrifice himself to become that. As in, take up the mantle of the dark side to balance out the Force.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. See, that's the thing.
He's going to accept it and then go far away.
I think it's going to be too Disney for that. The ending is going to be Rey and Kylo. Rey and Kylo falling in love, kissing, and when they kiss, it's actually going to dissipate the Force. The light and the dark are going to dissipate, and it's going to be no more Jedi, no more Jedi, no more Force, no more good and evil. It's just going to be people. Yeah, that's my prediction. All right,
comes back as a Force spirit.
So let's wrap it up with first of all. So Mandalorian comes out in 12 days. Super excited about that. It's going to be really, really awesome. It looks solid.
Yes.
Pedro Pascal playing the main character. You have people like Bill Burr, Nick Nolte. The actual cast is awesome. It was made by what's his name? Happy from the Marvel series, Jon Favreau. Super awesome. I'm very excited for it. Do you guys know when Disney Plus actually is released? Is it already out? The 27th of October?
I thought it was the 27th.
Because it's definitely something that with everything coming with Marvel and all that, November 12th. So I thought it came out on the 10th.
So 12th. It starts the day of
the 10th.
No, both come out on the 12th. Sign up early and start streaming November the 12th, 2019.
Could have sworn that Mandalorian said that's when live on the 10th. Anyways, so are you guys getting Disney Plus? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Same. And then also, like we were talking earlier, Yeah, that was my thing with between the Star Wars
and then with
Marvel,
all the Marvel stuff,
but also the Obi-Wan
I have
main spinoff show that looks really cool as well. Obviously, no production or anything, but just the fact that they got Ewan McGregor to come back on it, really cool. Having him in with the yeah, I mean. Yeah,
it's not Obi-Wan.
That's super exciting.
Literally portrayed the character
Luch,
perfectly.
Why don't you hit me with your trivia questions to wrap this up and see if I do better than you guys?
All right, these are going to start from easier to hard, but they're all going to be difficult.
First of all,
Jack,
I'm not going to get them right.
All of these right,
because the ones that I gave you, I started really, really simple and then kind of went a little harder, but they weren't that hard.
So these are all from the movies.
All right, hold on. I want to butt in real quick. I did, before we started this, I wanted to get to hear your thoughts on the Game of Thrones guys, pulling
it's
out
great.
of doing
It's great.
the
D&D.
the
Oh, I didn't hear about
D&D
that.
pulled out.
Yes,
of the
it was
new-
just announced. Like, what was it,
late
yesterday?
2025. Exactly what I was going to say.
Then
Exactly
they
what
should
I was
have
going
put
to say.
more
So
effort into Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Oh my god!
Well, and so here's the article that I read for anyone that's not familiar with this. So basically, they rushed through the end of Game of Thrones to get to do the new Star Wars. They were going to be doing a trilogy. I'm not sure what
No idea.
timeline the trilogy was supposed to be on, but now they have officially walked away from doing that because they have other Netflix projects that they're working on, and they were having a hard time dividing up their
Star
time
Wars.
between the two. So they walked away from. They rushed through Game of Thrones. They walked away from Star Wars to work on some Netflix projects.
Great. It's perfect. Love it.
So,
great.
All right, I'm ready. Hit me with it.
All right, Jack. All right, Jack. First off, what is the name of the Chrome
You talking about
Trooper
you're talking
in
about
the new
Captain
series?
Phasma? Are you talking about her name?
Ooh, Brienne
All right.
of Tarth.
Yes. Yes, you got it. Perfect. Cool. What is the name of the crystals used to power lightsabers?
That's funny because I almost said the no, I don't know what it is. I was thinking of the midichlorians. I don't have it on the tip.
No, you know it though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep.
Kyber crystals. All right. What is the name of the interceptor fighter? Okay. This is the smaller one used in the Battle of Endor, other than the X-Wing and the Y-Wing. This was the brown and
Not
white
the
one.
Z-Wing? No? Not, but I was going to say, when you said it, as soon as you said that, I was going to say the Y-Wing because that was the other one, but no.
Wait, did you say the Battle of Endor? That one was used in the Battle of Hoth.
Anyway.
No, Hoth is the snow speeder.
I thought it was the A-Wing that had the zip line that came off the back that they were tying up the AT-ATs.
That's not a fighter. It's a type of speeder.
Who commissioned them?
Who commissioned the clones?
Originally,
Who
it was
commissioned the clones'
Master
creation?
Yoda? No?
Mm-mm. This was Master Qui-Gon Jinn's master.
Oh, that's right.
They asked if this master was still on the Jedi Council.
Yeah.
It's a weird name.
No, it was.
But even if you get one of the two words, I'll count it.
Qui-Gon, his master was. Wait. Yeah, he's giving me hard questions.
Trivia's not
giving
so
me hard
easy
questions. Hold
now,
on.
is it?
I do actually know this. What?
I feel like you'd be at
hold
-7 right now.
Yeah.
No, these are real. These are
no,
really
I know it. It's something super weird. Wait, he doesn't know it. He definitely doesn't know it. If he couldn't get,
you know it, Josh?
half the other ones. No, I got it. It's
Fuck you.
So, all right, so
rhymes with
Jack,
cipher.
as a hint,
Okay. It's something. Sipho. Cipher.
You got it.
Sipho
Yeah, okay, Sifo-Dyas.
Sifo-Dyas.
I'm ready.
All right, and then the
Sifo-Dyas.
hardest
Uh-huh.
question, Jack. Okay, this was mentioned once. What is the name? Oh, okay, here. Obi-Wan Kenobi's clone commander was named Cody. Anakin's was named Rex. What was the name of Yoda's green clone commander? He was mentioned in Order 66 when he tried to kill Yoda. And then Yoda yeeted him off the treehouse.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I don't know. There's something with the Gree. Okay. Well, I wasn't.
Clone Commander Gree.
Do you guys know what language Wookiees speak?
Wookiee?
Shriruk?
Speak
Kashyyyk.
Shriek.
The Wookiees of Kashyyyk. I know.
That's their planet.
Wait, how did they call their language a name when they just gurgle?
So
if it just
So
I don't know. I didn't
that
ask
sounded like you
Chewie.
said Ash Chewy, but I don't know where we've devolved from into here. Super excited about the next month and a half for Star Wars. Definitely a great way to wrap up 2019. I almost said 2020. Jeez, I'm jumping ahead. But yeah, super fun. Glad you guys did so poorly on Star Wars trivia. That really bodes well for our knowledge on discussing the topic.
Same.
You did okay.
Hey! I did not do bad. Get out of here. I did average.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we just
Easy
scared away
questions.
all of our listeners. We should have had really
I tried to keep it basic.
basic questions.
The first question
What is
was
the
what's
name
the name of
where
Han
everyone
Solo's
can
ship?
have
I mean,
fun
like,
with
doesn't
it.
get easier than that. You know what the second question was supposed to be? The second
Yes.
question was
And then
supposed
it
to
went
be
from that
what is
to,
the
like-
weapon that Jedi use? Like, really? Yeah, I bet you do. He's like, a blaster.
Ooh, see, I know that one.
The Beat Saber.
The beat saber.
The shake weight. Anyways, that's going to wrap up level 46.
Yeah.
The final boss was the easy ass trivia that these two clowns couldn't answer. But if you're excited for the new Star Wars or the Star Wars shows, let us know. Send us a comment on Instagram or on YouTube. You can find us streaming at iTunes, Google Play, and then videos up on YouTube every week with new levels to behold. From all of us here at this galaxy, from our galaxy to yours, may the Force be with you.
And send us your Disney Plus username and passwords so we can watch along with you.